Girl, we got some tea?
With the honey and the sugar.
Nah, we gonna need some wine for this one.
Well, wine me, please.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Wine Me Please podcast. Y'all did good with that one.
I know. Harmony.
It only took a million takes, but okay, I'm just kidding, y'all. Y'all, welcome back, y'all.
Like we ain't a one-hitter quitter.
Today, well, of course, I'm your fave, Shaniqua.
It's your girl, Dominique.
And it's Candace.
We are here to slay your airwaves and your televisions.
Lord have mercy.
But anyways, it's been a day already, y'all. So today, y'all, we are talking about World Mental Health Day because happy World Mental Health Day! Of course, from 3 mental health professionals.
Got to keep it together up there.
Okay.
Because sometimes we not together up there.
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes. But before we get started with the topic, the wine of the day or the episode is the Dark Horse Merlot. It is perfectly balanced with layers of ripe dark cherries and rich blackberries, aromas of blue violet, toasted oak, mocha, and brown spice rise out of the glass and leads to a long, plush finish. It is aged for 12 months. And of course, like you said, it has notes of dark cherry, rich blackberries, and toasted oaks. It pairs well with spicy foods, grilled veggies, slow roasted beef, brisket, lamb, pasta with red sauce, and creamy cheese. 14% alcohol. And
She wanted a little bit.
a little bit.
I don't know if you heard me.
Okay.
I was pouring heavy and she said, not I.
I have paired this with some jerk shrimp rice, y'all. Okay.
You want some, Spence?
Nah.
He said, nah.
Said no. So y'all want to do the wine first?
Yes. Swirl it,
Swirl
sip it. I know Merlot is strong. That's how I was like,
Sound good. Cheers. Look,
Cheers,
y'all thirsty.
cheers.
Clink. Look, everybody made it this time.
has a nice bold scent.
I like it. But I like semi-dry. And it's not even like dry.
It's not
like
dry.
that.
It's not super dry.
That's a little stronger. You can taste the 12%. You said 12%?
I said 14.
14%. You can. Oh, that's why you taste it.
You can see how it like sticks to the glass too. You're supposed to be able to, there's some quality in how
yeah,
it
like the
sticks to
thickness
glass.
of it.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to hold your wine?
I hold on to it.
Okay.
She like it a little bit. She holding on to
A
it.
little bit. All right.
Now, this came straight from Shaniqua's Catering.
Sure.
You made this, right?
Mm-mm.
That's why I was like, it did it? Or we just not gonna say Target?
No, we ain't saying Target either. It came from Pete's.
Oh, okay. Shout out Pete's.
I thought you
Pete's
made
Hot Bar.
this.
No, I ain't have time for all that. This is the last minute shift change.
Oh,
Nice little
Good,
kick.
ain't it? I love it. I get it
Nice
like
little quick kick.
It's hot.
It's gonna
So
clear
I
your
eat
senses
it like
out.
once every
she
couple
needs
months.
some milk.
I was
That
gonna say
part.
it's gonna clear your senses out for sure.
It's good, though.
You like, you know what? A little congested. Let's clear you right on out, yo.
Your senses, your ears, everything is just clearing on out. I go and buy it, though. I'll probably try and make it.
It's easy to make.
It honestly tastes like they use water jerk.
I was gonna say it's jerk. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's real easy to make. But if you don't feel like making nothing, just go into their hot bar. Anyways.
That's a little spicy, yo. Get that a minute. No sweating.
Here,
Would you like a napkin? Pat yourself dry.
Thank you.
You got a lot going on over here.
I do.
Very tasty though.
It's very flavorful. I'm gonna have to go because Darnell is such a spicy person. He would love this. I'm gonna have to go. What a piece about here.
Up the street.
Definitely gonna stop and get this for his lunch.
I need some like butter and bread to go with that,
I'll just give me some milk.
Give me some milk.
Oh, you can put that over there.
All right,
I'm gonna
y'all.
keep eating it though, so y'all listen to them while I eat.
All right, what we talking about? Mental health.
Protect mine.
Because she going through it over here.
I know. Go ahead.
I don't even know. I forgot. But we are in the season where, seasonal depression, that's the lamest term for it, of course, is very big as we are entering into, the winter months real heavy. And the holidays, isolation become a very big thing. So just wanted to talk about it for the people, tell them some things they can do, things to look out for, all the other good jazz. I know you brought up isolation, and that is a big thing, especially for people who don't have may have lost their loved ones, like their parents. I have a client who neither one of her parents are still alive, and she was the only child. So she has no family, so no immediate family. And so that's one thing she does. So if she'll take a break throughout her sessions, during the summer or whatever, but the winter time, these months, she pick up a little bit more because of, so that she don't isolate, because that's just normal for her to just do, because it's y'all ain't there for me anyway the rest of the year, so I ain't really finna be talking to people anyway. So I always remind her, if you need to increase your sessions just so you can have somebody to talk to, just talk about those thoughts. That's very important. And I have another client that's like that, not necessarily like that, but because her mom had passed away recently, she's experiencing a lot of firsts. Right. So this is about to be her first Thanksgiving, her first Christmas, all the other stuff that's happening. And just trying to navigate that. And one thing I've been telling her and any of my clients, especially when they're experiencing it first, allow yourself to go through those emotions and those feelings and process them, talk about them. But also let's start to think of ways that maybe the next Christmas, the next Thanksgiving, whatever, or the next holiday, where you can do something that's in honor of your loved one, that's fun and joyful, so that you're not sitting there and feel you can only remember the fact that they're gone. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my little starting point with that, especially coming up on the holidays and people have lost family members or loved ones.
I think it's also important for those that you just using your client as an example, those friends that she may hang out with during the summer months. Yeah. For friends to remember, hey, you have friends that don't have family, so invite them over for the holidays so that they can still experience that closeness. Of course, again, if that doesn't trigger them, because sometimes it can trigger people to realize what they don't have, and what they yearn for. So that's something that they're interested in, then definitely invite them over. Invite your friends over, because they need you. We need y'all. So what would you guys, to help the people understand, because some people don't actually know that they are depressed, or that they are experiencing seasonal depression, or are experiencing any type, even seasonal anxiety, because knowing that the season is coming up can cause them to become anxious and worry about, or again, isolate. So what would you guys say, help people understand what the things are to look out for, the warning signs, possibly?
I would say the isolation is a big component of it, and just kind of speaking to both of you guys' point about encouraging people to find chosen families, because I think grief is a big thing for a lot of people, and whether deceased or still alive, some families are fractured.
Yeah, and that's great. And I think just even piggyback off that, people don't realize that they grieve what they once had that's no longer there, even without them being gone. Deceased. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that relationship is no longer there. So that's a big thing too. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And I can speak from my personal experience with that, right? A lot of people that kind of struggle with that depression phase, it's because of a lot of resentment for those people that are still alive, right? And the thing that we have to get our clients and friends and family to focus on is that there is community out there that does love and support you. And if you do just focus on the negative, that's all you're going to see, right? And so I do have that community of we had some guests, Kels and Wanda. That's my second family, my chosen family of, I spent Thanksgiving with them, and very different experience, but you know what I mean? It
So
was.
that's why you don't be coming on my house for Thanksgiving?
You be all over the
I'm
place.
just messing.
No.
I am just messing.
I
ain't
will
even never
come.
invited her for Thanksgiving because
I was gonna
like
say
you said,
you be all over the place. You be collecting plates on Thanksgiving,
I do.
So and I be on the same thing.
She cook for them to have their food after Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
But
Now
then
invite me to that because I'll be in the
Right.
neighborhood.
I got
be
you.
down the
last
street.
year they had salmon.
I'll be.
Right, we had a whole list.
Salmon, asparagus, they had a whole list.
I saw
I got to come home
afterwards.
to, okay?
Shoot, I saw that afterwards. But that's the thing is I have those people where I have that space to do that. And so people need to kind of like you said, tap in to those support systems. And sometimes it's a level of vulnerability to say, I need that level of community.
That part right there, because they don't want to be vulnerable sometimes, or even just don't know how to be vulnerable. Because for what I've also witnessed was like, if I be vulnerable, I now have to allow them to see me cry and be emotional. And people ask questions, am I ready to talk about it? And I always remind them, you can tell them you don't want to talk in depth about that situation, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's your boundary around that.
And it can just be super casual. Hey, what y'all doing for? Okay, I'm gonna stop by.
Yeah.
Like, it can be super casual. Then they're gonna realize, oh, she stopped by every year, and now it's just normal. Like,
And then sometimes those conversations just happen naturally when you know you've been embraced.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
You have that level of
Absolutely.
comfort.
you have that
And
safe
so-
space.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And so, the isolation, I think, is one part. And then just, like, lack of motivation. Like, some of the
Little
things
things
that
you don't wanna
I see
do.
people, like, decline in their, like, going outside and fitness and things like that start to decline.
Yeah.
And it's, more of the snacking behaviors and just kind of, like, just not doing what you used to do. Not the level of activity as you used to do. That's a big one.
For me, even what I noticed for myself, I wouldn't say I go through like any major depressive modes. And this is just in general, not tailored to seasonal, but this could possibly help somebody else. I noticed that my environment looks like how I feel. So my home starts to turn into that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just a disarray. Everything's just out of place. Like, my environment looks exactly how I feel. So kind of pay attention to that. Like, if you feel like, goodness, my room is out of whack. My closet, I got stuff all over the
Clothes,
place. This
papers.
isn't normal. Exactly.
The mail.
Especially if it's not normal. If you're normally like that, then that's the different thing. But if you're not, it's like, okay, here's a sign something else is going on that I'm not realizing.
Exactly. And then sometimes you're not even attaching to what's coming up. So just start paying attention to like your changes that are happening. Be more self-aware so that you can understand like, oh, this is tied to this. Now this makes sense. And hopefully when you can make sense of it, you can learn to heal from it, but you can't heal from what you don't understand.
Yeah. And I think even with that, like, I think it's also important to know that, and this is really for significant others, right? If you see your significant other is going through this, like, you realizing, oh, he or she's not cleaning like they usually do, or, now everything, this is not normal for them. Don't chastise them about it, but check in and say, hey, I noticed this behavior has changed, or I noticed this is happening. Is everything okay? How can I be of support?
How can I help you?
Yeah, like, what do you need me to take over? Because too many times, they just be like, you ain't doing this no more, and what's happening? Why does look like this?
What's wrong with you?
Or
Sometimes asking people what's wrong with them can be like the hardest question because they're going to be like, nothing, because they don't know. But if you tell me, how can I help you? I can tell you how you can help me more than I can tell you what my problem is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to throw that out there because, like, people don't be mindful. A lot of people are in their own, their own little world. And so you're not thinking about maybe something else is happening. Especially, like I said, if this is not the norm for your significant other. Like you said, how can I help? How can I be support? What do you need from me? And, take it from there.
And I would say just for those that are, like those that may have mental health diagnosis already, if you know that you may become less like yourself during the season, before the season hits, maybe that's time for you to start like making sure that your appointments are in order, that you have your scheduled appointments.
Yep.
If you are prescribed medications, making sure that you have your medications, because for some people, once you hit that plummet, it's even hard to talk to your doctor to get refills. Like, it's hard for you to even schedule your next appointment. So just making sure that you have those things. And then for mental health professionals, for those that you do know for your clients that you do know have those seasonal depression episodes or even anxiety or just anything that may trigger, I don't know what word I'm trying to say, but like trigger a mental health setback, check in with them during the session. Like check in and say like, hey, this season is coming up. How are we gonna work through this? Like, how are you gonna? Do you have any plans? Just in case. Almost having like an action plan. Just in case
absolutely
they fall
having
short.
an action plan. And I think the other thing is like what I work on with a lot of clients is establishing what is your threshold. So like, what's your threshold before that happens? So like working with your therapist could be, or a psychiatrist, whoever, could be very helpful, because you guys can then determine like, okay, when X, Y, and Z starts to happen, I know that I am entering into an episode, and so I need to get certain things in order, or I need to like prepare for this, and maybe let your significant other know, etc. And then what's your threshold coming out of it? So how do you know you're out of the depressive episode?
Like, what's your normal baseline?
What's your baseline? So that way when it's coming, you can tell it's coming. And sometimes you're not gonna always know until it happens, but at least you can sit and be like, oh snap, this did happen like 2 weeks ago and I didn't realize it. And just writing it, even if you have to write it down and like go back and look at it and be like, okay, like a checklist, right? You can create like a checklist, like, okay, this is happening, oh snap. Because like you said, sometimes when people don't realize they're in a depressive episode until they like deep in it.
Like what you just said, like memory and concentration is another whole thing, like being distracted and things like that.
And so like if you ahead of time, when you're in a healthier space and you and your therapist can work together and create that checklist and you have it when it's happening and you're like, what's happening? It's always something you can go back to him and look at that checklist and like, oh snap, I'm hitting all these. I'm currently in an episode right now.
And I think that what's good about that checklist, and if you create one with your family, and then to double back, the hardest thing about mental health is that unlike physical health, you can't see it.
Yeah.
Only the person that has it can feel it. And even of course when someone has a physical health disease, of course they can only feel it, but it's also more visuals for other people to be able to easily empathize with. And, have some type of sympathy towards what you're experiencing, because I can see this. Whereas mental health, I could put on lashes, makeup, clothes, be dressed down to the nine, and be a complete Shrek on the inside. And people don't understand and can't see that. So it's harder for them to empathize. You say, oh, I'm feeling down, or I'm feeling sad. So creating that checklist or the action plan with the thresholds, with the baseline with your family would better help them pay attention to you as well. And then they can know, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, she looks good, but she's not doing what she normally does.
Exactly.
She's not presenting the way she presents. Look at her house. She's not eating. She's jumping all over the place with conversations, like, so that they can understand, okay, we've reached a place, so that they can also help you as well. And then if they bring it up, because sometimes you don't recognize that you're doing it, if they bring it up to you, then maybe you can be like, okay, wait a minute, you're right. Let me make that phone call, because it takes a team.
So what is your suggestion to those that have family that aren't supportive of mental health and kind of have some of those like old school ways? The old school mentality of like, just kind of pray about it, or, you just do something else, right? That don't really accept talking to mental health professionals.
I would just suggest build it's like you said earlier, having your community outside of your family. So like that trusted friend that is very much so understanding and got your back, and you can check in, because you can't do nothing about your family if they want to be stuck in those ways, right? But you can do something about who's a part of your support system that makes you feel good and that listens to you, believe you, and not diminishing you or talking down to you. So I would definitely suggest like them just securing those outside friendships and the chosen family, as you like to call it.
And there are support groups too.
And I was just about to say, go to support groups. If you need to increase your sessions with your therapist a little bit for a short time frame, do that. But starting there would be a good start.
And if it really means that much to you, because you can't force people to understand you, but I am big on like respecting and boundaries. So hey, you may not, and I wouldn't even put the pressure on them to say, hey, maybe you can change the language that you use, because it is what it is. It's mental health. So I would really just say, hey, like let them know, like, hey, you may not understand what this is, but I need you to respect it.
That part.
At the end of the day, I understand that this may be a space for you that you don't understand or even may make you uncomfortable. So I know that this is not a space for me to invite you into.
Right.
But should I be talking about it and you're amongst it? Just respect it. You don't have to engage in the conversation.
Absolutely. You can remove yourself.
Right. Because I'm here to fill up space, not to make it.
That part.
So,
Take up the
I'm not
space.
moving out the way to talk about my issue.
That part.
So my issue about to take up space.
Problem, not a me
Right,
problem.
exactly.
Right. And I think I bring that up to say, like, I think a lot of people think to internalize a lot of what they're going through instead of asking for help because they're used to that immediate support not being a support. So assuming that other people wouldn't be supportive too. So kind of breaking that stigma of like, okay, you might not have been taught vulnerability within your immediate family, but there is support systems outside of your family that you can get help from.
Yeah.
And then also too, like that support is needed because you're as alone as it feels. You are not alone.
You're really not.
As alone as it feels. And it just makes me think about, even when you're talking about like not having family or not having parents, people who have parents that pass, it just makes me think about the Meg Thee Stallion documentary. It does. Just because she, when is this episode coming out? Look, let me show you. No,
This is
saying.
October.
Nah, it just, and the reason that, but the reason it made me think about that, and when they're talking about you feel alone when you're not alone, is because she had so many people around her. As we stated before in the past, I think she had so many people around her, and she still felt alone. And then she also didn't have her parents. Her parents had passed away.
Yeah.
So she had like all these people that were always around her, but she still didn't feel like she was alone, probably because people didn't understand. So just know that there is a community out there that can support you. It's bigger than what you think, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But there's people out there that can help you. These are people that can help you. Y'all books open?
Yeah.
In Illinois.
In Illinois, Texas, and Utah.
Yeah, okay.
I got y'all covered. Illinois, Texas, and Utah.
You small
Pull
pub.
me up.
Where Utah come from?
No, she been on it, ain't she?
It's because it's more rural space. She's just getting more like.
No, I actually had a client that moved from Texas back home to Utah. So he didn't want to get another therapist.
So he made you do extra work.
It was literally a quick do.
Okay, that's what's up.
So I was like, okay, cool.
That's so supportive of you.
Right.
Isn't that because I should be like, well, let me look for a referral. Because I don't know what we're going to do about that. I don't know.
You know, when people want you, they want you.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
I've had a couple of clients that was like that. One moved to Colorado before. I was like, okay, baby, I can't do no Colorado.
They had too many.
I think it was too many moving parts. I was like, I think one had moved to Louisiana. I was like, it's too many moving parts.
Yeah.
But I will find as many options for you and send it over. But
Talking about license all over the world.
I'm trying, you know what I'm saying? Get that money on. I'm just playing.
I said, Utah, where you go there?
So speaking on the anxiety pieces of, seasonal affective disorder, just just speaking on the topic of mental health, the anxiety of the holidays are preparing for the holidays. I feel like as a kid, the holidays used to be so much fun, but now as an adult, it's almost like dreadful.
We the aunties that's planning.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if you're the planning person, then yes.
It's a lot more anxiety, and it's just like, is this more of a... Because I see the pros and cons of it. I see a lot more community of like us being themed parties and bringing people together in the social aspect. I feel like we're bringing that aspect of it back.
Yeah. But
the planning and the just like the theatrics of it is so... she know why I'm looking at her.
It's dreadful.
I did looking at me, right?
I did our first Christmas.
She not going to do the same theme twice. So the girl is going to go... I'd be like, ooh, you making me nervous.
I did our first Christmas this past year. This is our first time doing Christmas. And I was like, how the hell do Shaniqua do this every year? I was stressed.
I stopped. I gave up.
You want to know how stressed I am?
I gave up.
I
canceled last Christmas. My family ain't talked to me since. Right. I'm like, we're not doing Christmas.
Months. Get it together.
You want to know how stressed I was? I didn't finish putting up Christmas stuff probably until last month. I threw all that shit in the basement that said somebody else to deal with it. I didn't want to look at Christmas stuff. I just threw it all in the basement. Just organized.
I put nothing up this year. I canceled Christmas, everything. I was like, I'm not planning nothing. I'm not doing nothing.
I like doing it, so.
I enjoyed the outcome of it. Like, I enjoyed everybody coming to my house like, oh my God, it's so nice. And then I had 3 trees. So I, like, enjoyed people coming in and seeing everything.
I do,
But the production was
people
like...
be ungrateful.
That's because you have to map it out. You have to plan it. You start, so this October.
We
started
going
in
Christmas
September.
shopping together.
You start in September. Kind of August, really.
Yikes.
And then, like, you just
Whenever
map it
Hobby
out.
Lobby opens is when she starts shopping.
It's when Hobby Lobby dropped the Christmas decorations. I'm in there. Boom.
I ain't
there
got
we
it
go.
in me no more.
Which means you have your theme planned out
I do.
already.
Yes, she
Yes.
do. Right now. She does. Right now.
I don't even know what I'm
That
gonna
or
do.
she at least
But-
has narrowed her options down to 2 to 3.
It's one. I have it finalized. I have 5 themes that I do. Because they will be rotated.
Okay.
So I have to do all 5, and then I'll circle back and start from the beginning, and then
So you don't have to keep buying decorations, or you're gonna start keeping buying decorations?
No. Once I've hit all 5 themes,
Okay,
She been in
then
the
you're
house for
set.
5 years.
yeah,
now, right?
they're downstairs in the basement,
Okay, good.
organized, categorized, labeled.
I can't wait for you to come do that for me.
So if you want to hire her for party planning, she also does that as well.
Oh my gosh!
You know, I
Event
had,
planning, party planning, production.
you
just
can
side
start
note, side pub.
decorating people's trees.
So I was actually thinking about doing that.
Catch her on Pinterest.
But don't put too much on my plate. Y'all gonna get me in trouble.
You can do like a rent a tree and like rent and decorate.
She rent a tree.
$100.
Just get her the money and she gonna send your
I
tree
am
back.
thinking about doing it the next year. But the anxiety around party planning just in general is, I'll speak for me personally. I don't necessarily I have a little anxiety around it. But that's because I'm a perfectionist, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, it's like everything needs to look a certain way. Everything needs to be placed a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Everything needs to go a certain way, be in a certain order. And so if it doesn't, I then just have to like talk to myself to calm my nerves down. Like, okay, nobody's even gonna really notice this
Because no one knows how
Anyway.
it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
True.
But then me being me, I'll make the huge announcement when y'all are there.
You will.
And I've done it before. Like, so how that look? Because it's not supposed to look like this. And
You
people
did that when I
like,
didn't know about a situation, and I was like, it feel good in here to me.
Oh yeah, when they had
Oh,
no
when
heat
the
that
heat.
went
Yeah,
there.
you made an announcement. It ain't no. I didn't even know
Yeah,
there was no
because
heat
my
up in
furnace had
here.
went out. But yeah,
I didn't want to say that. So.
it's okay. I don't know what they gonna do.
You know, it's just your business. It ain't my business to tell.
I mean, we just talk about it, folks. I don't care.
I can remember if we did.
But no, it's just like that's what anxiety come in for me. It's just like, oh, is everything in the right spot, position, order, all the other stuff, and then I'm good to go. The day of, I'm like, all right, everybody have at it. Everything's laid out, but I like everything to just be there. I don't like the running around last minute. I don't like all of that. So just planning for holidays and switching the themes is fun. Like, and I do 2 holiday parties for Christmas. So, the Friendsmas and then the family party. And the Friendsmas is always a separate theme that has nothing to do with the family party at that, which is even more crazy. And it's like, girl, what do you be doing? And I don't repeat those things either.
Yeah.
I don't plan on repeating it because it's just like, why? What should I make the theme this year?
Yeah, for me, I don't know. I think you used to
Chime in the comments and tell us.
I think for right now, I try to make, like last year I did Mickey for my baby. But I tried to at least do a Mickey tree but still make it feel adultish because I didn't want it to feel like super childish. So I still tried to make it feel like adulty. But for me, I love planning. I think my thing is I get anxiety about making sure that people are entertained. That's
That
where
part?
my
Yeah,
part
that's
comes
part.
in.
You know what? I can agree with that. But what I started doing is I put it off. I like designate somebody. If I know they're gonna be at the party, I'll put it off on them. I'll be like, okay, can you make sure this is happening? Like I've had you do it one time when one of those parties. I was like, okay, can you help me do this, and this?
Yeah.
Just because I'm still trying to be an overall good hostess,
a host.
and so it's like, okay, somebody else can just help me navigate the game
Right.
and entertainment. I'm good to go because I never want to feel like anybody's just sitting around and they're
Right,
bored.
exactly.
So I get that.
Exactly. That's pretty much where my thing comes in at. But overall, I like when everything comes out well, but the whole process of it is quite like anxiety driven. I actually just talked to my mom about this. My mom believes in mental health, but she's still like old school. But she believes in it though. She understands it, but she'd be like, "But you don't. They nothing wrong with you though." But I'm like,
That be the statement, but ain't nothing wrong with you though, right?
But I was telling her because I was explaining to her that I was like, I do have a form. I was like, I do have some type of anxiety. I joke around about it. I shouldn't joke around about it, but because it could be true. But I was like, I think I need some medication. Because I said, I think I need some type of medication. She's like, you are fine. I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm trying to tell you. So my mom lives with us now, and she finally seen it for the first time, and she was like, oh, you need to slow down and think about what you're doing. So I was, no, kid you not. So I was in the kitchen about to wash my baby's bottles. So I had the water running. And then I think he was like whining. So I was like, oh, well, let me go get him a snack. So the water running, still got bottles in the sink. Went, grabbed him a snack. And then I had gave it to him. And then I was in the living room. I was like, oh, I got to put his bike in the car. So then I picked up the bike and then
Water
I
still
put
running.
the bike in the car. Water still running. And then I'm outside and I'm just like, let me clean out this truck the whole time. So my mom, okay, she like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm putting the bike in the truck. She was like, you got water running. I said, I completely forgot about those bottles. So I was like, no. I said, and this is like my thought process all the time. And she was like, Dominique, she was like, she was like, you're thinking too fast. And she was like, and the next thing you know, I said, I operate the same way like this for work. She was like, and I can imagine that you have a lot of started projects that just aren't completed. I was like, you're absolutely right. Look at my house. A lot of started projects that are not completed. She's like, you need to sit down and think. I said, no, I need medication.
Yeah. Help me.
Help me.
Help me. Please.
And I was trying to explain that to Danielle. We sat at the table. He was just sitting up there eating. He was just like, really? He's like, just do it. My mom and Danielle are very much alike. They both have like type A personalities. Like they're very much so. Do this first, then do this, and then this, and then like put everything back the way it is, and like very organized and orderly. So I'm like kind of happy that they're both at home because now everything's gonna be organized and orderly because I'm not. But yeah, I was like, I have to figure something out. I was like, because I literally cannot. In order for me to focus on one thing, I honestly have to disassociate. Like in order for me, because my mom was like, I need to play some music. I need to do this. I said, I can't play none of that. I said, because if I start thinking about the song, I'm gonna twerk to the song, and I'm gonna go watch the video.
It has to be an instrumental. It has to be an instrumental. It can't be no words.
Video. It's so real.
I have to do a straight lo-fi mix. With
Yeah,
like no words.
so I was like, I can't. I said, and then I was like, and then the crazy thing is that because I have to disassociate and just like block out everything, it's almost like I have to, like when you're driving and then you be like, when did I get to this location? I honestly have to do that while like trying to clean up. But then when I do that, I don't remember where I put shit at because I was kind of like not present while I was cleaning up. But that's the only way I can get it done.
I identify with a lot of stuff that you're talking about.
See?
Right now. So yeah, no, I need the medication too.
So Dominique need the medication. Spencer's need the medication.
I identify with like
I self-medicate.
No.
She self-medicate. I'm just here to be a supportive friend.
That's the only way. Like I have to, and I noticed that. But honestly, I've learned to like function in like sort of chaos because my mom was like, when everything's I have like one little room was like, this is like my room and it's chaos in there. Mom's like, oh, like where are the scissors at? She's like, I'm looking around, I can't find the scissors. I'm like, lift up that paper over there, move it a little bit to the right over there in that back corner.
Oh yeah, I call it.
It's over there. So it's like organized chaos.
I call that organized chaos.
But if it's somewhere specific,
organized chaos, because it really is organized chaos.
Yeah, I'm like, but if I straighten everything up and I put that thing where it's at, boy, I
can't find it.
never find it.
And I hide some of myself all the time. It's like, let me put this here so it won't get lost, and now that's lost.
Right, exactly. Y'all, when I
Never
tell
see
you,
it again.
I can't find 5. I had gotten 5 Bath and Body Works gift cards, and I was in the state, and I was like, I'm going to put this right here. so that
You don't know where here
want.
is.
I cannot find them
You
gift
keep
cards
replaying
for
that
nothing.
memory and it get blurry right there.
I
where
cannot.
he
I
is.
still can't find them. It was 5
I bought a book of
Bath
stamps
and
I'm
Body
still
Works.
looking for. I was
We
like,
need to
this
put
is where a book
Spencer
of
on the
stamps
mic
should
on
go.
this
And I
episode.
still ain't found the book
You
of
said
stamps.
what?
I said we need to put Spencer on this mic on this episode. Hop your tail on over here.
Enjoying
You having a
big comfy
neurodivergent
couch.
moment.
Right.
So yeah, I was like, yeah, something's not. And Darnell doesn't understand. He's like, you just put it back.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
But I don't
it
know.
just doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But it takes a lot of it is due to procrastination or like lack of planning as well.
Realize to
Because
slow
then
down.
I end up
Just
doing stuff in a
slowing
rush and not, you know. So,
I've been
yeah.
checking myself. Like, why you just throw that on the floor? Pick that up 2 seconds. It only take 2 seconds, Candace.
I do
And then
that.
I'll be like, yep, put it back up.
I'm
You
the
know
same
why you
way.
procrastinate?
What do I know why I procrastinate? I think I created that in myself in college. to be
Sometimes we
honest.
do create it ourselves.
Yeah, I honestly think I created it in college because I was able to be so successful at it.
I created procrastination is the best motivation. I used to say that in
Yeah.
college all the time.
Yeah, but I tell you, I never like I could do. I remember where it started. Sophomore year,
Back in
I
the
had
day.
a paper that was due, and I had completely forgot about the paper. And the paper has to be a minimum of 13 pages, and I did it the night before and still got an A.
Good for you.
And after that moment,
You was like,
I never did anything on time. I was like, why stress about this for 2 weeks and I can stress about it the day before?
Because
she did one of them.
Right.
Challenge
on
me.
my shoulder. Exactly.
Give me 6 hours. I'll do it in 3.
I do it exactly. I'm going to beat the GPS time. GPS
She one of them. She like, challenge accepted.
I'm going to get there at 20.
yes, you wanted a challenge. But that's why a lot of people procrastinate because because you feel like there is no consequences.
Exactly.
So when you procrastinate, there's now a consequence to your actions.
Yeah,
but
but
if you
you
do it
just
ahead of
anxiety.
time, it's like, oh, you feel like ain't no consequences if I don't get it done. So when you procrastinate, you know there is a consequence. Because if I don't get it done now,
right.
X, Y, and Z is going to is going to happen.
And some people subconsciously chase the hyperarousal phase too. Like if you're used to being in a state of anxiety because you're always in a rush or you always had to be responsible or
It's
you
your
always
comfort place.
that's your comfort place, and so you even create scenarios like that because you're used to having that stimulus and you like having not necessarily to say you like it, but that's what you're used to. And so to have like that stillness, people will know what time they're supposed to be here and still will make themselves late for events, right? Just because it's just like I'm used to that pattern.
Yeah. I had a client and I was working at a residential facility, and when she was staying in her place of chaos, that baby had straight A's. Straight A student, had got accepted into like 2 to 3 colleges. She moved into the residential facility and went into straight depression. Like, she started failing out her classes. And they was like, we can't understand why. And it was like when she was in that place of chaos, her schoolwork was her escape.
Is that I was just
That's
about
what
to
she
say
was able
that.
to
That was
focus.
exactly, that was her
Something to
escape.
focus on.
And also, even if there was some abuse happening, she kind of knew when it was going to happen. Whereas when you're in a place and it's actually safe, you're still wondering when is the abuse going to happen.
Yeah, you
When
don't
am
know
I going to
how
get kicked
operate in
out?
that space.
Exactly. When is this, like, you don't know what's going to happen. And in that space, she had a pattern. She knew the pattern. Now there is no pattern, although it is safe. Now she feels the most unsafe.
It's a different level of structure.
There's no
She's
level
not
of
used
control
to.
in that space. Even when we talked about, she was like, well, when I knew that I was going to get like abused or like my dad was going to come do something, she's like, I knew just to put my mind somewhere else. She was like, so that's like almost like a sense of control.
Yeah.
Whereas now she doesn't know if abuse is going to happen. If she's going to do, then she has nowhere to put her mind. And it was like the hardest thing. And I felt really bad because I was young at that time working in that space. And I really wish that, and unfortunately, even in nonprofits, it's all about numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Numbers.
Yes.
She was like the golden ticket of like the first person to be able to go away to school from the program.
Oh, that's so sad.
So they were really big on, no,
Yeah, because they were scared of girls eloping and things like that.
Yeah, they're like, no, she has to go off to college. Like she has, because we can say that we send our kids, even if you got that one.
Oh, that way to go. That's not good.
even if we got that one, we could say that this kid, we got that. You get one child to college, you could put on the billboard. We send kids to college.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was like, we got to get her to school. And I'm just like, she is not ready to. She ain't even processed being in this space yet.
Right.
You want to send her off to college to another space? But they was just like pushing me, despite how much I said I don't think she's ready. Pushing. I wish I would have stood 10 toes down even harder.
Yeah.
Before we did send her off to college, I did at least connect her to the counseling resources down there. And she did. She actually had like she had got enrolled and stuff. And they allowed her to do like a session with someone before she came down to talk about her anxieties at college. But I feel so bad because I never heard from her after that. Because I always think about her. Like, I always hope that she's okay. But, I forgot how we got there. See, look, that's my brain. But anyway, but yeah, that's exactly how that whole situation is. So right now, with in terms of procrastinating, that's exactly what it is. There is no immediate consequence, or there has not been immediate consequences. So I'm really trying to break myself from that because I have a child now, and it's like I want them to have the ambition and I want them to have the mindset of no matter what, you can get things done. But I also want them to know that
take your time.
You don't have to rush it. And it actually is more peaceful if you do a bit by day. You know, so now I'm going through that now with my own self. I'm trying to get my house in order and all this stuff bit by bit. I feel like it's taking forever though.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get there because I created the chaos. So it's going to take some time for the chaos to get unsolved.
Unravel.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Anything else about anxiety? I think so. Oh, I was going to say we can name off like some of the symptoms to look for. Of course, like you said, like those racing thoughts. Because I remember when y'all was talking and when y'all was explaining something. So those racing thoughts is a thing.
Restlessness.
Feeling overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like, especially if that's not like your norm.
Sleeping habits changing.
Yeah.
Your sleeping habits
People
changing.
more or less.
Yeah. It was something I'm drawing a blank now. I had another word and I just completely forgot that.
I also pay attention to, like, even though like how you said restlessness, but pay attention to your body.
Yeah.
Like,
Somatic
do your
symptoms.
palms sweat? Do you feel tense? Does your stomach start to hurt at certain things? Do you start having sweaty palms? Are you getting more headaches? Heart rhythms? Your heart rate?
Yeah.
Pay attention to what your body is doing as well.
Yeah. Especially if it's outside the norm for you. I can't stress that enough because some people have like sweaty
Natural
palms,
sweaty hands.
right?
Yeah.
I'm one of those, but it's like, but like I know what my anxiety symptoms look like. Like when I used to work still in foster care, and I would have to go to court and I would have to testify and all other stuff. I would always have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't have to go to the bathroom none up to it. But the minute I get in that court building, my stomach has dropped and now I need to go to the bathroom. And then, but of course once I'm on the stand testifying, I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But it's like that's the unknown of like what's finna happen or who's finna ask what or if it's finna be some BS because they was, so like just identifying what's your it goes back to like the checklist of like what's your baseline, right? What is the norm for you so that you can be able to compare and contrast of like, okay, no, this is actually something else, this is not my usual self,
right?
My thoughts are racing now, I can't sleep, and if that's a thing, write those thoughts down. One thing I love telling people to do, especially like when they like are having sleepless nights and they like it's so much on their mind, I always tell them, keep a journal by your bed and write all those thoughts down. And I guarantee after that, you will be able to go to sleep. Because the thoughts just needs to get out at that point. And rather
than nowhere to put it.
Yeah, rather than not you go through that list that night or the next morning or the next week or whatever, it's a different story. But like get it out because it's just there. And I've had those moments like before a big event or something like that. It's like I can't sleep because there's so many thoughts. And I'm like writing it down. I'll even text you like, I'm telling you this because it's on my mind. I gotta get it out. Boom. Talk about it later. And go from there because it's just so much that's going on in life. So but at the end of the day, like you said earlier, like you're not alone in none of this. Like there is a whole community out there that's there to support. You just gotta find your tribe really, and find your therapist. Don't be afraid to shop around for therapists.
Yes.
Like I tell people in a minute, if you ever feel like we're not a good fit, don't hesitate to send me the email and say,
I just didn't feel like we was a good fit. I want to keep looking. And I will give you additional resources. Like, okay, cool. Maybe these individuals are a good fit for you.
Yeah.
I don't feel no type of way about it.
And don't be afraid to tell your therapist what it is you need.
Exactly.
What approaches work for you and what's not working for you.
Exactly. So.
And ask your therapist, like, what is your approach?
Yeah.
For sure. Like, ask, like, you know,
That's
how
what
do you
those
typically
consultations
do?
are for.
You're right. Exactly.
And ask follow-up questions because your therapist can tell you what their approach is, and if you ain't never been to therapy, you don't know what the hell they're talking about. So don't be afraid to like just ask a bit more like, okay, what is that? What does that consist of? Because that's important too. Because we could spit a lot of language out to you, and you're like, okay. And still get off that damn call like, I don't know what she talking about.
I'm like, what kind of learner are you? I'm always going to ask, what kind of learner are you? Are verbal? Do you like homework? Do you like talk therapy? Tell me what.
I don't even use like the big word like CBT.
Yeah,
I don't even use those words. I don't even use I use language that describes it.
Exactly.
Just so they'll know. And then, you know, eventually I'll tell them like, yeah, this is this type of, you know, approach and modality or whatever. But as y'all get closer to the holidays, because what is this, October? So, you know, just know that lean in on your support.
Right.
Build your own support, your new support if need be, so that you can be comfortable and be vulnerable and feel like it's your safe space. Find your community. Find your, group therapy, if that's a thing. If you like
support
group therapy.
groups.
NAMI has good support group.
NAMI,
with resources. Yep.
NAMI. If you're ever in a crisis, call a crisis line 988. Because that's very helpful. There's so many different resources out here now. They even have like text resources.
They do.
Like through text
NAMI has
therapy.
a text line.
Yeah, NAMI
We can
is
drop all those resources.
NAMI. Just so y'all know. But yeah, so any other last little tidbits? Yeah,
Nothing I could think of.
Okay.
Let me see if my mind's still thinking. No, I'm just playing.
All right. Is it good?
I think it's empty. I think I
Is it
emptied
empty
it
for the
out.
moment? All right, just for the moment. 30 minutes.
Until the next
it's gonna be full.
episode, right?
But as always, you all, you know, follow us on all social media platforms.
I didn't drink it all.
Share with everybody. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and rate us on iHeartMedia and Spotify and Apple and all the other good stuff. And, you know, always remember, we're not just your podcast for tea.
So why me, please? Clink, clink, clink.
And don't forget, if you want our advice, send us an email to advice@whinepleasepodcast.com.